The night was quiet, almost too quiet. Rain fell slowly over the city, washing the streets with silver light. Most people were asleep, dreaming normal human dreams. Inside a small apartment, a human woman sat alone. Her name was Lena. She lived a simple life, worked a simple job, and believed the universe ended at the stars she saw from her window. Lena had no memory of anything strange. No memories of war, no memories of aliens, no memories of danger, just silence and routine. Then the doorbell rang. It was slow, heavy, and careful, not rushed, not nervous, as if the person outside knew she would open the door. Lena froze. No one ever visited this late. Her heart began to beat faster for no clear reason. She stood up, walked toward the door, and looked through the small screen. At first, she saw nothing. Then she saw movement. A tall figure stood outside, much taller than any human she had ever seen. Broad shoulders, dark armor, and glowing marks across his chest. Her hands trembled. Every part of her body screamed to step back, yet something pulled her forward. She unlocked the door and opened it slowly. The man standing there was not human. His skin shimmered like metal under moonlight. His eyes were deep, ancient, and filled with pain. He was bleeding. Dark liquid ran from his side onto the floor, yet he stood straight, powerful, unbroken. They stared at each other in silence. Rain fell behind him. Wind moved through the hall. Time itself seemed to stop. Then he spoke. His voice was deep, calm, and strangely familiar. "Remember me?" he said. The words hit her like a storm. Her chest tightened. Her vision blurred. Sudden images flashed in her mind. Fire, stars breaking apart. A battlefield filled with alien ships and human screams. Lena gasped and stepped back. Her head hurt. Her heart felt like it would burst. She shook her head again and again. "I do not know you," she said softly. Her voice was weak, almost afraid. The alien warrior looked at her with sadness, as if he had expected those words, as if he had waited for them. Before he could answer, a loud sound echoed across the sky. A deep hum, powerful and unnatural. The walls of the building shook. The warrior turned his head toward the sky. His eyes hardened. "They found me," he said. Lena rushed to the window. Above the city, dark shapes moved through the clouds. Huge ships with glowing lights scanned the streets below. Fear filled her chest. This was not a dream. This was not normal. She looked back at the warrior. He was breathing slower now, weakened by his wounds. Yet his presence filled the room like a storm waiting to break. "They are hunting you," Lena said. Her voice was shaking. "They are hunting you too," he replied. Her heart skipped. "I am human," she said. "I am nobody." The warrior stepped closer. "Humans are never nobody," he said, "and you are the reason the galaxy is afraid." Sirens sounded in the distance. Lights flashed across the walls. Time was running out. The warrior fell to one knee, his strength finally giving way. Blood stained the floor near her feet. Lena stared at him, a stranger from the stars, a danger to everything she knew. Yet something inside her refused to close the door, refused to walk away, refused to let him die alone. She made a choice, not as a hero, not as a soldier, but as a human. She grabbed his arm and pulled him inside. The door closed behind them. The lock clicked into place. At that moment, Lena's normal life ended. The galaxy had crossed her doorstep, and nothing would ever be the same. If you enjoy slow-burning sci-fi stories like this, gently consider subscribing to this channel, so you do not miss what comes next. Outside, the ships moved closer. Inside, two worlds collided, and the universe held its breath. The door stayed closed. Rain sounds faded behind thick walls. Inside the small apartment, silence returned, heavier than before. Lena locked the door with shaking hands. Her heart was still racing. She turned slowly and looked at the alien warrior lying on her floor. He was breathing, but each breath looked painful. The glow on his armor flickered like a dying flame. His strength was fading fast. Lena did not know why she was helping him. Fear told her to run, but something deeper told her to stay. She pulled a chair closer and watched him carefully. He was tall, even while lying down. Every part of him looked built for war. After a long moment, his eyes opened, sharp, focused, and alert. Even wounded, he looked dangerous. "You should not have done that," he said quietly. "They will punish you for helping me." Lena crossed her arms, trying to feel brave. "They were already here," she replied. "So tell me who you are." The warrior slowly pushed himself up. Pain crossed his face, but he did not cry out. "I am Kale Veros," he said, "a warrior of the outer galaxies." The name meant nothing to her, yet hearing it made her chest feel tight, as if the sound touched something forgotten. "You came to Earth," Lena said. "You broke into my life. Why?" Kale looked at her for a long moment, as if choosing his words carefully. "Because you are the only place they will not destroy to reach me." Lena frowned. "That makes no sense." Kale looked away. "Earth is protected," he said, "not by weapons, but by rules." he explained slowly. The galaxy was ruled by powerful councils. They watched young worlds like Earth. Earth was marked as undeveloped, primitive, harmless, a place forbidden for open war. But you broke that rule, Lena said. You came anyway? Yes, Kale answered. For you. The word echoed in the room. Lena shook her head. You keep saying that. Kale leaned closer, his voice lower. You once stood on a battlefield far from this world. You saved my life. Her breath caught. That is impossible. Kale closed his eyes. I thought you would say that, he told her about a war beyond stars. About planets burning. About armies stronger than any human could imagine. Humans were not expected there. Humans were thought to be weak, slow, and fragile. But she had proven them wrong. She had gave orders, Kale said, and alien generals listened. Lena pressed her hands against her temples. Pain returned, sharp and sudden. She saw flashes again, a command room filled with light, her voice calm and strong, aliens turning toward her for guidance. She cried out and fell back into her chair. I cannot remember, she whispered. Kale's face softened. Your memory was taken, he said. Lena looked at him sharply. Taken by who? Kale hesitated. By those who feared you? Outside, the hum returned. Closer now. Lights passed across the windows. The hunters were still searching. Kale stood up despite the pain. They will scan this building soon, he said. We must move. Lena stood frozen. Move where? Kale looked at her with a strange mix of respect and fear. To the truth. Suddenly, a loud knock hit the door. Not a human knock, heavy and powerful. Lena's heart jumped. Kale grabbed her wrist gently. They know, he said. The knock came, again. Stronger. The doorframe shook. The apartment felt smaller than ever. Kale stepped in front of her. Even wounded, he stood like a shield. I will not let them take you. Lena looked at his back. At the warrior who crossed galaxies for her. At the stranger who felt painfully familiar. She realized something then. Her life before this night no longer mattered. Whatever she was, whoever she had been, the galaxy wanted her. And fear was only the beginning. The door began to crack. Light poured in from the other side. And the warrior from the stars prepared to fight again. The door did not break. It melted. A thin line of bright light cut through the metal frame. The air inside the apartment grew hot and heavy. Lena stepped back as the smell of burning metal filled the room. Kale moved fast, despite his wounds. He pulled Lena behind him. His body became a wall between her and the light. Do not speak, he whispered. They are listening. The light vanished. Silence returned. Then a cold voice echoed through the hallway outside. Hewn resident, the voice said. Step away from the alien and you will not be harmed. Lena's heart pounded. Her legs felt weak. She looked at Kale's back, tall and steady. He spoke without turning. She is under my protection. The hallway lights flickered. The voice changed, sharper. Now, there is no protection for humans who interfere. Kale reached behind him and pressed something into Lena's hand. A small, dark device, warm to the touch. If anything happens to me, he said softly, run. Before she could answer, the floor shook. A heavy force slammed into the door. The walls cracked. Kale reacted instantly. He raised his arm, and a faint shield flashed into existence. The second impact hit harder. The door burst inward. Two tall figures stepped inside. Their armor was smooth and white, their faces hidden behind glowing masks. They moved like machines, cold, precise, without fear. Lena felt their eyes on her, even through the masks. They knew exactly who she was. One human, the first one said. Confirmed. Kale growled low. She belongs to no one. The second figure raised a weapon. This human belongs to the future. Time slowed. Lena's mind filled with noise. A pressure built behind her eyes. Suddenly, the room changed. Not outside, but inside her. She saw stars, not distant and calm, but close and violent. Ships exploding, worlds burning. She heard voices, alien voices, shouting orders, and one human voice above them all. Her voice, hold the line, do not retreat. We win this together. Lena screamed. The sound ripped through the room. The hunters staggered back. Kale turned in shock. The shield around him flared brighter. Lena, he shouted. The pressure released. The lights shattered. Glass fell like rain. The hunters recovered quickly. The human is awakening, one said. Take her now. Kale attacked first. Despite his injuries, he moved like lightning. He struck one hunter and sent him crashing into the wall. The second fired its weapon. A beam of blue light cut through the room. Kale barely deflected it. Lena crawled backward, her hands shaking, her head burning with half-formed memories. She heard Kale's voice again, calmer now. This is why they fear you. He said, humans are not strong because of muscles. You're strong because you adapt. The first hunter rose, again, damaged but active. You should not exist, it said to Lena. Humans changed the balance. Kale fought with everything he had left. But the hunters did not tire. They did not feel pain. Lena watched, helpless and afraid. Then something inside her clicked. She remembered standing in a room full of aliens, all waiting for her decision. All afraid to make it without her? She remembered, thinking faster than them, seeing patterns they could not. Finding solutions where none existed, her fear shifted. It did not vanish, but it turned into focus. Lena stood up. Her voice was shaking, but her mind was clear. "Stop," she said. The hunters turned toward her instantly, weapons raised. Kale shouted her name. Lena did not look at them. She looked at the device in her hand, the one Kale had given her. Without knowing how, she understood it. Her fingers moved. The device activated. A deep pulse filled the room. Not light, not sound, something else. The hunters froze. Their armor flickered, systems failing all at once. Kale stared in disbelief. "You remember?" he said. Lena shook her head slowly. "Not everything," she replied, "but enough." The hunters collapsed. Lifeless and silent, smoke rose from their armor. The apartment was destroyed, but still standing. Outside, the hum of ships grew louder. More were coming. Kale leaned heavily against the wall. "They will not stop now," he said. "You showed them the truth." Lena looked at her trembling hands. "What truth?" Kale met her eyes. "That humans do not need time to become powerful. You become dangerous the moment you are pushed." Sirens wailed across the city. Alien scanners swept closer. The galaxy had seen enough, and he was afraid. The apartment was ruined. Smoke hung in the air. Walls were cracked. Lights were dead. Outside, the sound of alien ships grew louder, closer. Kale slid down against the wall. His strength was almost gone. Dark blood covered his armor and the floor beneath him. "They will bring soldiers now," he said quietly. "Not hunters." Lena looked around the room. Broken glass. Fallen furniture. 2 lifeless alien bodies. This small human home had already become a battlefield. She felt fear again, deep and sharp, but something else was growing with it. "Anger. They came to my world," Lena said. "They broke my door. They hunted me." Kale looked up at her, surprised. Humans were supposed to cry, freeze, or run, not stand like this. "Earth is not ready for open war," he warned. "If they land troops, many will die." Lena walked to the window. Outside, the sky glowed with moving lights. Alien ships hovered like dark stars above the city. "They think Earth is weak," she said. "They think humans will hide." She turned back to Kale. "But they do not understand humans." Kale tried to stand and failed. Lena rushed to him. "Do not move," she said. She dragged him toward the inner room, a smaller space with fewer windows, more protection. Kale watched her closely. "You are changing," he said. Lena paused. "No," she replied. "I am remembering how to survive." The building shook as something heavy landed nearby, a deep impact that echoed through the ground. Kale's face hardened. "They have landed," he said. Through the broken window, Lena saw them. Tall alien soldiers moving through the street, weapons glowing, scanning everything in sight. People screamed below. Cars crashed. Alarms sounded. Chaos spread fast. Lena's hands clenched. "This is my home," she whispered. Kale reached for her arm. "If you stay, you may die." Lena looked at him. "And if I run, others will die." She remembered something then. Not a full memory, but a feeling. The feeling of standing when others could not. She moved fast, using her phone, her laptop, anything that still worked. She pulled up building plans, street maps, power lines. Kale watched in confusion. "What are you doing?" "Thinking," Lena replied. "That is what humans do best." She saw the old gas line under the street, the weak power grid feeding the block, the narrow roads meant for cars. "Not soldiers, they are strong," Lena said. "But they are not flexible." Outside, the alien soldiers moved forward together. Perfect formation, perfect order, predictable. Lena smiled for the first time that night, a small, dangerous smile. She opened the gas control valve from the basement system, just enough, not too much. Then she overloaded the streetlights. Kale realized her plan too late. "You will trap yourself," he warned. "I know," Lena answered. The soldiers stepped into the intersection. Weapons raised, scanning, then the lights exploded. A burst of sparks filled the air. Gas ignited in a controlled blast. Not deadly, but blinding, confusing. The aliens staggered, their systems reacting slowly. They were built for open battle. Not human streets. Lena used the moment. She triggered fire alarms across the block. Smoke poured from every direction. Humans ran, not in panic, but in survival, blocking paths, flooding streets, breaking patterns. The alien soldiers lost formation. Orders overlapped. Systems conflicted. Confusion spread through their ranks. Kale pushed himself up, watching in shock. "You are turning the city against them," he said. "No," Lena replied. "I am letting the city be itself." One soldier forced its way toward the building. Weapon raised. Lock on target. It fired. The shot missed Lena by inches. The wall behind her shattered. Fear flashed through her, but she did not freeze. Kale gathered the last of his strength. He charged, roaring in pain and fury. The warrior met the soldier head-on. The fight was brutal, close, violent, metal against metal, strength against desperation. Lena grabbed a fallen device. She did not know how it worked, but her instincts guided her. She struck the soldier from behind. Not with power, but precision. The alien fell, systems failing. Silence followed. Then distant retreat signals echoed through the street. The remaining soldiers pulled back. The ships above began to rise. Slowly, unwillingly. Earth had not broken. Kale fell to his knees again. Exhausted, Lena rushed to him, holding him up. They will remember this night, Kale said. A human city fought back. Lena looked at the burning street, the running people, the rising ships. This was not a war, she said. This was a warning, far above Earth. Sensors recorded everything. Human chaos, human courage, human resistance, and across the galaxy, fear grew. The night grew quieter after the ships pulled back. Smoke still rose from the streets. Sirens echoed far away. Earth was breathing again, slowly, painfully. Inside the damaged building, Lena helped Kale into a safer room. He was weak now, barely standing. The warrior who frightened the galaxy could hardly lift his head. She cleaned his wounds with shaking hands, using water, cloth, anything she could find. Dark alien blood stained her skin, but she did not pull away. You should let me die, Kale said softly. It would be easier for you. Lena looked at him sharply. Do not decide what is easier for me, she said. Kale studied her face. The fear was still there, but something warmer had joined it. Before this night, Lena asked, Who was I to you? Kale closed his eyes. For a moment, he looked older than the stars. You were my reason, he said. The words hit her harder than any memory. Flash. Her chest tightened. Her hands stopped moving. He spoke slowly, carefully, as if each word carried danger. We fought together across many worlds. He told her about long journeys through dark space, about battles where hope was thin, about moments when only one voice kept Armea standing. Yours? He said. When others panicked, you thought. When others feared, you planned.
Images returned, stronger now. Lena saw herself standing beside Kale. Not behind him, not protected, but equal. She saw him watching her in silence. Trust in his eyes. Something deeper than duty. Her breath caught. We were close, she whispered. Yes, Kale replied. Closer than I was allowed. Pain crossed his face. Not from wounds. But I lied to you, he continued. Lena's heart sank. What kind of lie? Kale struggled to sit up. I knew they would erase your memory, he said. And I did not stop it. The room felt suddenly cold. Lena stepped back. You knew. I begged them to take mine instead, Kale said. They refused. He told her the truth. The Galactic Council feared humans, but they feared her most of all. She could see patterns no species could. She could adapt faster than their systems. She could change outcomes they believed fixed. They said you were too dangerous to remember who you were, Kale said. So they erased you. Lena's hands clenched into fists. They stole my life. They said it was mercy, Kale replied. They said Earth would be safe if you forgot. Memory after memory returned. Not all at once, but enough. She remembered arguing with the council, standing alone among beings older than civilizations. She remembered making a deal, her memory in exchange for Earth's protection, her past erased, her future hidden. Tears filled her eyes. I agreed, she said softly. Kale nodded. You chose Earth over yourself. Silence stretched between them, heavy and painful, love and betrayal tangled together. You still came for me, Lena said, even knowing I might never remember you. Kale looked at her. I would cross the stars again, he said, even if you forgot me 1,000 times. Something inside Lena broke and healed at the same time. She sat beside him, resting her head against the wall. For the first time since the night began, she allowed herself to feel. Outside, distant engines roared again. Not close, but watching. The galaxy had not left, it was waiting. Kale's expression darkened. They will not stop, he said. You fought back. Now they will escalate. Lena wiped her eyes and stood. They think fear controls humans, she said. They are wrong. She remembered one final thing then. The part of the deal the council never knew she planned. Her memory was erased, but not her instincts, not her ability to grow. They made a mistake, Lena said quietly, by giving me time to be human again. Kale looked at her with new understanding. You are going to challenge them. No, Lena corrected. I am going to outthink them. A message alert flashed on Kale's damaged device, a priority signal from deep space. The symbol of the Galactic Council filled the screen. Kale's jaw tightened. They are calling a final vote. Lena looked at the stars through the broken window. She felt fear, but she also felt ready. Then let them listen, she said. This time, I will speak as a human. Far beyond Earth, ancient beings gathered. They remembered the woman who once shook their certainty, and now they feared what she might become again. The signal did not fade. It pulsed slowly on Kale's damaged device, a silent demand from the center of the galaxy. Lena stared at it. She could feel the weight behind that symbol. Old minds, powerful voices, decisions that erased worlds. They want to judge you, Kale said. His voice was tight, controlled, not as a person but as a threat. Lena took a deep breath. Her hands were still shaking, but her thoughts were clear. Then they will hear me. Kale tried to stand again and failed. Lena caught him before he fell. You should rest, she said. There is no rest now, Kale replied. If you speak to them, you stand alone. Lena shook her head. No, she said. I stand as a human. She activated the signal. The air in the room shifted. Light formed into tall shapes around them. Holograms of alien leaders filled the space. Different sizes, different forms, all watching her at once. Their voices layered over each other. Curious, angry, afraid. The human remembers, one said. Barely, Lena replied. But that is enough. A tall figure stepped forward, its voice calm and cold. You broke the agreement. Lena felt anger rise. You broke into my world, she said. You hunted my people. You provoked us. Another voice replied. You awakened human resistance. Lena laughed softly, a tired human sound. You did that yourselves. Kale watched her. This was the Lena he remembered, calm under pressure, dangerous with words. You fear humans, Lena continued, not because we are strong, but because we change. The council reacted. Energy flared. Voices rose. Change was chaos to them. You spread instability, a voice said. Your kind cannot be controlled. Lena stepped forward. Her image flickered across the stars. We do not need to be controlled. She showed them Earth. Not weapons, not armies, but people helping each other in the streets below. We fall, Lena said. We get hurt. And then we stand again. The council fell silent. Data streams moved fast. Human adaptability recorded in real time. Kale felt it then. The shift. The moment fear began to crack. One human cannot represent a species, a leader said. Lena met its gaze. No, she replied, but one choice can. She made her decision, not with power, but with risk. I offer myself, Lena said, not as a weapon, but as proof. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Kale turned toward her in shock. You cannot, he whispered. If humans are a threat, Lena continued, then judge me alone. Leave Earth out of your fear. The council debated instantly, old logic against new uncertainty. They had never faced a species that spoke like this. Kale's heart pounded. He understood her choice, and it terrified him. You are asking us to trust humans, a voice said. Lena nodded. For the first time, silence stretched, long and heavy. Then a final signal sounded. A decision has been made. The council announced. Kale stepped closer to Lena. No matter the outcome, he would not leave her again. Across the galaxy, fleets paused, weapons powered down or charged, waiting, the fate of Earth balanced on one human choice. And the stars listened. The silence after the council's announcement felt endless. Lena stood still as light shifted around her. Every alien leader watched, waiting to see if a human would break. At last, the central figure spoke. Its voice echoed across stars and distance. Earth will not be destroyed. Kale's breath caught. Relief hit him so hard his knees nearly gave way. Lena closed her eyes for a brief moment, but the voice continued. The human Lena will be observed. She will stand as proof of her species. The room felt heavy again, not with fear, but with consequence. Kale turned toward her, eyes wide. They are not freeing you, he said softly. I know, Lena replied. They are learning. The council shifted, uneasy. No species had ever offered trust instead of force. No species had ever placed one life above an entire world. You may return to Earth, the voice said. But know this. The galaxy will be watching humans closely. Lena met their gaze without fear. Then watch us carefully, she said. You might learn something. The holograms faded. Light collapsed into silence. The room returned to broken walls and smoke. Outside, the sky was clear. Alien ships pulled away from Earth's orbit. For the first time, humanity slept without knowing how close it came to the end. Kale sank down beside Lena, exhausted. You changed everything, he said. Lena looked at her hands, still shaking. I just made a choice, she replied. Kale smiled faintly. In the galaxy, he said, that is the most dangerous thing a human can do. Days passed. Earth repaired its streets, its buildings, its broken glass. People called it a strange night, a blackout, a storm. Only a few would ever know the truth, that Earth had stood on the edge of destruction and stepped back by human will alone. Kale healed slowly. His armor was gone, his title meaningless here. On Earth, he was just a protector, a watcher, a guardian in the shadows. Lena returned to her quiet life, but she was no longer the same woman. She watched the stars differently now. Sometimes memories returned, not battles or blood, but moments, standing beside Kale on distant worlds, laughing between missions, choosing hope when logic said to surrender. One night, Lena stood on her balcony. Stars filled the sky above her city. Kale stood beside her, silent and steady. The galaxy will tell stories about you, he said. They already are. Lena smiled softly. I do not need legends, she replied. Far away among ancient civilizations, a new story spread, not of a weapon, not of a conqueror, but of a human, a fragile creature who refused to be ruled by fear, a species that adapted, endured, and chose courage. They called her many names, the human who spoke for Earth, the mind that stopped a war. But the name that lasted the longest was simple, the one who changed the stars. And across the galaxy, one truth became clear: never underestimate humans, because when the universe pushes them to the edge, they push back,